Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called it.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I do love you, but bye.
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something new. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast. Good evening, Australia and New Zealand. Good morning, USA, and good afternoon to the rest of the world. Well, I just say that because I was like, do you know what? That felt very Eurovision of me. But welcome back to the Survivor Now podcast. We are recapping the premiere episode of Survivor Australia versus the world. I am so excited, but obviously can't do this on my own. Today, I'm joined by the lovely Bruce and Cara. Bruce, how are you doing?
I am doing great. If my voice sounds a little James Earl Jones-ish, like really deep, I had a really late night last night. It's 6 a.m. here, but I am ready to go.
I love that. And Cara, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Like, if there's one thing I'm going to wake up early for, it's Survivor. So I'm ready. I'm excited.
I mean, that's just the gold standard. We will wake up early for Survivor. We will stay up late for Survivor. We will do it all. But as well, we are so excited to recap this premiere episode. I've put it up quickly just over there. Give us your thoughts in the live chat. The live chat is open, so tell us how you're feeling. We are going to be giving all of our reactions as well to everything that's gone on. But first things first, I need to ask both of you just initial reactions. How did you feel about this premiere? I mean, we've seen enough premieres of Survivor seasons to know like how we feel about a premiere season episode. So Bruce, first off, how was the entire episode for you?
It was exciting as hell. It's been a while since we've had a premiere, obviously, but this is a different level. I got to see some faces that I've seen on my television in the past. I get to see them again, and I was excited about that. But the biggest part of it all is, I get this tingly feeling when I'm seeing the intro, and I remember being in that position. So I was excited as hell. I just want to talk about this as much as humanly possible.
I mean, same, yeah. And Cara, how are you feeling about it all?
It was so good. And like just the beginning, like I was like tearing up, like just everything about it was so exciting. It was so good. The editing, seeing like all those amazing players come out, like it was great. The whole episode was great. I can't wait for more.
Honestly, I have to say this. The hype that this season has had has been like exponential. We have never had this kind of hype happen for like any particular season. Obviously, we've got another season coming up that's probably going to match that hype.
I agree.
But
100%.
the premiere matched the hype. Like I was sat there and I was like, oh my God, yes, this is like amazing. Before we get into it all, we've got Chris in the chat. Chris is so happy to be here. And he does have a question, Bruce. Have you ever met any of the people from the USA side? So I'm guessing that is Tony, Suri, or Poverty.
I have not. And it is kind of one of those things that even though I've played the game, I'm like nervous. I'm nervous to meet them. It's like they're on, the Mount Rushmore of Survivor, and it's like I'm gonna get a chance to, and I'm just gonna have to hold in all that's inside. Like,
yeah.
But I've not had a chance. I can't wait to meet them though. I really can't.
I would love to meet any of them. But before we get into everything, I just want to say, Jenny, I love this comment. I cried when I saw everyone come on Matt's. I didn't cry. I'm so sorry. I'm my tear ducts have not worked since 2017, so I did not cry. But I was very much like, but let's get into the episode with. I mean, first things first. The intro. This intro was epic. Like. Just amazing. I loved what they did, like giving each person, well, almost every person their moment. And this was epic. I mean, Survivor AU do amazing intros, but like this one was just epic on all proportions, but also so individual to each person. Like Luke in the bag. Like that just is so Luke coded. Tommy from Finland on the motorbike. I was like, that's so cool. Cara, I'm going to go to you first. What were your thoughts on this intro before we get into everything else?
I really enjoyed it. Like seeing them all come in and having their little moment, except for Sari, for some reason.
And
They
Sarah.
didn't, and Sarah.
Mm.
Oh, that was weird how they just like skipped over them. But it was really good besides that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
They
And Bruce.
showed Cerise sitting in the truck,
Mm.
but not speaking, and
Yeah.
maybe that's an Easter egg or something like that. I don't know, but
Mm.
she was sitting there in her chauffeur, please take me to my destination type, passenger seat thing. So, who knows? But Tony sitting on top of that truck like that, that's if I can say it, that's Americana. He's about to go to the truck rally, like he's doing his thing. I'm in Tennessee right now. That right there, that tracks. Like that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And what I kind of found really cool as well was because it was obviously you had 2 trucks for the international players, because you had one with all of the US players and then you had one with Rob, Cass, and Lisa, and it was Rob as well on kind of where Tony was. And I feel like the 3 players that were all on the back, actually, it was Tony, it was Rob, and then it was Sarah. And I loved that Sarah was just like, get off it. I was like, that I love. But obviously, we'll move on to where obviously everyone gets on the mats. What were your reactions to the Aussie players reacting to the international players? Because the Aussies had so many big reactions, which I loved. It was George saying everyone's full name. He would literally be like, it's Rob Benatelli. It's Lisa Holmes. I was like, George, you are me in a nutshell at this moment. I would be the exact same. But when you look at this, just this initial thing, like how are we feeling? Bruce, I'm going to go to you first.
The reaction from the Aussies, like they're looking at obviously Survivor royalty. Okay, like royalty walking in there right now. So $3 million worth of prize money has been won. The bell of the ball and Sari is there, and then you have, and I'm just speaking of the American side. I'm kind of biased, obviously, but then the rest, everybody's looking like, okay, so now if they take the tutelage of the U.S. team and work together, like it's going to end up turning into something that could potentially be unstoppable. That's what I'm thinking at the Aussie team. It's going through their mind at this point.
Absolutely. Cara?
Like, I'm sure most of them have seen like the USA players play and like maybe grew up watching them, and like they're probably not going to have a chance to meet them, maybe, unless they came here, they went there. So I feel like just seeing them there, like in Samoa, is insane.
Crazy, wild. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, just seeing the Aussie players, I was there like I know that I would have probably been, out of everyone on this cast, I probably would have been Lisa, the fact that I would have seen all the AU players and like been like, but I would have also seen all the people I was on my tribe and gone, like just a mental insane. In the chat, we've got some things going on. Felicia, I want to say, I hope I've said your name correctly. I'm sure there is so many streaming places you can find it. Shavideo.net is one. There are loads of Discord servers that have the episodes. Just keep having a look. And if you need anything, drop a comment and we will continue trying to help you. Chris saying, poor Sarah, she didn't even get a confessional. No, she didn't. Same with Jenny. She thinks that this episode, Sarah got the purple edit, which I agree with. But we're not here to talk about one person, even though Sarah's a queen. We are here to talk about the episode in full. And first things first is the reward challenge, which I love a long water slide. I love that Survivor AU did this, because it, like, to me, when I see like a giant water slide going down to something, that is just pure Survivor AU. Obviously, for this reward challenge, it was 1v1. They slid down the water slide and then had to crawl through a net and then had to throw beanbags at a bell to be the first to hit the bell and then choose a reward item. And what I loved about this challenge, which was slightly different from kind of various ones I've seen, is there were 7 rewards up for grabs, and they got to pick which reward they got. So if I remember correctly, it was Flint, it was a tarp, it was fruits, it was tea and coffee, it was
Comfort item.
Pardon?
The comfort item.
The comfort item, that's what I was trying to remember. You got the Flint, and then you've got the mystery box.
And the champagne.
And champagne. Yes. I mean, obviously, for Shani. Cara, which one of those rewards would you have wanted to get the most?
I definitely would have went for the box first if it was there, for sure.
And Bruce?
I would have went for the Flint. Definitely would have went for the Flint.
See, you're all going for like the really smart options, and I sat there and I went, "We're only here for 16 days. I want a cup of tea." I sat there like, I've got my tea ready. Like, I want that. So fair enough to you two on that one. With this challenge, I want to get both of your thoughts on this challenge. I would love to do this challenge. I say that about every AU challenge. I would love to do it. I would be scared though, going down the slide and going under the crawl net, just because I know that I would have been like power. And then my worry is I would have done a Bruce and then like knocked my head on like the front beam as I'm going under. Like, I feel like that would have been me. But Bruce, I'm going to go to you first. What were your thoughts on this challenge?
The first thought that I had in my head was, yes, they're not, to be funny, going down that slide and a little head knock. But what I would have actually liked to have seen, there are two things that I would like to have seen. Slide down the slide, get all wet, this, that, and the other. Put some sawdust on the bottom of it, right? Crawl through the sawdust. Sand, I got you, I understand that. But give him one more thing to do. Like, go through mud. Like, give him something else. And then once you give them that, then you come out and, you got to throw the beanbag at the bell. So now the beanbag the bell was, what, 5-10 feet away, it seemed like. It was not far. Give him a little bit more of a challenge. You get all of Samoa. Like, you could have just stretched that out a tad bit. That's the only criticism that I have. But as far as for the actual challenge itself, I'd love to see them go down that slide. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that as well. Cara, what were your thoughts? Were there any standout moments?
Oh my God, the transition of some of them from the slide to right under the net was insane. I was like, oh my God, that was flawless.
I think it was that my brain goes to Tommy. I think it was Tommy that did that, and I went, "Oh my God!" I was like well done, mate.
I definitely would have hit into it.
Yeah, I probably would have slid down, continued sliding, and I just be in the middle of the thing on my back, just going, "What do I do now? I can't move." Like, I feel like that would have been me. There was one moment that got me, and it was when already, like, during the challenge, George was being George. George was absolutely being George. And I think it was Lisa that just went, "Oh, he's already being insufferable." And that just made me cackle. I was just like, Lisa is me. Lisa is me in that moment.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was talking to someone, literally, not, they knew he was coming back. I was speaking to a Survivor player, and I didn't mention anything whatsoever. I just said, what are your thoughts on blah, blah, blah being there? And the first thing that came out of the mouth was, George is so annoying. Like, he's just so annoying. And I was just like, wow, that's an interesting thing that you just said right there. And why? I'm not wrong. I'm just saying. So when they watch, they'll be like, oh, okay, I got it.
It's one of those when people are like, what are you saying? Like, George, I will say this now. I do love George. George is such a character. But I can understand if I was in that situation, I probably would be sat there being like, George, go.
It was so funny, him in the Speedo and everything. That was so funny. I love him. He's so funny.
Rocking out with his dad bod, as he said.
Yeah.
Like, Chris is in the chat. Thank you, Chris. First of all, Chris, I know Chris always likes to try and make our live streams, and I feel like he must be loving the fact that he's like, it's evening for me. I'm having a lovely time. He put, I loved this challenge so much. I thought it was a great change having the belt, and I agree. And I like the fact that it was head-to-head, but there was no physicality. It was kind of blending the Aussie side of things with the international side of things. And Chris also makes a good point here. I was so shocked David knew Rob. I know him personally, and he doesn't watch a ton of international seasons, but I suspect he binged AS when he knew he was playing and therefore knows Rob. And that is the moment I really want to get to, because the first matchup obviously was right here. It was Rob and David. And we saw David straight away kind of get in some strategy in with Rob in that moment. Do we think that was smart right off the gate to go, right, let's see what we can do here. Let's work together and go ahead. Or do you think it could have waited a moment?
It's a short season. It's very short. So what he did makes perfect sense to me. Like, go right in. I'm surprised there might have been more conversations of people walking side by side up those stairs. If they wanted to avoid that, put a staircase on the other side and have them walk on the opposite sides and meet in the middle. So maybe it is something that they had a little hindsight on, and they're saying, okay, yes, let's have them walk up and see who's going to utilize and take advantage of every situation. But I like it. I like it a lot. Like, you gotta be thinking at least 3 steps ahead at that point in time.
Yeah, I agree. Cara, what do you think?
Same. I liked it too. I thought it was like interesting. Like, oh my God, like it's already happening. They're already starting, but like it is a short season, so you got to do as much as you can in that little time that you have. So you got to start right away.
Absolutely. Yeah, you've got to hit the ground running. And I mean, both tribes did. And with this challenge, it was so good. And I like that both tribes did win at some point, but obviously, ultimately, the World Tribe did dominate a little bit more, and more importantly, they won that mystery box. Predictions. What do we think is in this mystery box? Because obviously, we know it's going to be teased later on in episodes, so I'm intrigued to know what do you think could be in this box? Cara?
Maybe like a clue to something.
Okay, Bruce.
First off, hopefully somebody asked the question and said, okay, I see a lock on that. What's the deal? Where do I got to find this lock? What do I got to do to get this lock? So now, obviously, the entire tribe knows it's there. It should hopefully be something for the tribe. Maybe it'll give them, like, when the time comes and if there's a challenge, they have, you can skip a part of the challenge and start ahead or something like that, because you can't be one person that goes out there and you find that key and you unlock it, and then all of a sudden now you have mayhem inside of your tribe. Like, oh my God, someone opened it, someone has the key. I have no idea who it is, and who got the advantage of being along with it. So
I agree. I kind of like that idea that you said, Bruce, about it maybe being like an advantage in like something later on. Like, I would love that. I don't want it just to be an idol. Like, one thing I know about these Aussies, that it will not just be an idol. And if it is, I'll be shocked. It's going to be something that, is powerful, makes people go, oh, okay. But obviously, we're moving on to the tribes and kind of understanding their dynamics. So let's get into the Aussie tribe first, where we see good old David and Luke return to each other. This dynamic duo, I mean, I remember in All Stars when there was a reward and people got letters from home. People forget this. David got a letter from Luke. So, like, these two, they are this. Like, they are so close friends, and it's such a lovely dynamic to see. Do we think that, they're going to just be like that? They're going to be inseparable? Or do you think one of them is going to sit there and kind of think, oh, maybe I need to jet away? Because in this particular scene, it was very much they were like, we're together, we've got this, we're here for each other. Bruce, I want to go to you first, as someone that is more relatively new to Australian Survivor. What do you think of their dynamic?
In looking at that bromance and getting a little bit more of the backstory on it, whoever wants to join them is going to go far. I'm actually looking at the picture, and I'm surprised that they're not like holding hands, skipping through the forest. Like, that was so cool. It was cool to watch them, like, interact and laugh and have a good time, because that's essentially what I think that they want to do at this point in time. They want to play the game, they want to play it hard, they want to win. They want that title, like Tony was saying. But of the world, like, you want to be number one, but they're just gonna bro out, have a good time until it's time to say, okay, are we gonna pull a U.S. Survivor and be Wendell and Dominic and say, okay, bro, like, let's fight it out and see who's who in the zoo. But I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with these two.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you just refer to them as like Dom and Wendell. Like that is actually really good comparison. I could see them both doing that. Cara, I do want to get your opinion on something else though, but I do just want to quickly bring up Chris Dixon's message saying he thinks that the mystery box will probably have an idol of some sort. Kind of like Titans versus Rebels had, and I forgot about that. So thank you for that reminder. But Cara, I want to get your opinion on something else within the AU tribe, which is George and Shani. Because obviously we saw my super fan Sarah mention like what are the relationships, and I do just want to call this out because I do feel like this was such a funny moment where Sarah was like, so what are the pre-existing connections? And Shani goes, aren't you the super fan? And she's like, yeah. Like when I tell you, like Sarah, like Sarah is our level of super fan. Like she knows what's going on. So I love that call out. But that runs to George then saying his only connection is Shani. And he knows that he screwed Shani over bad. So obviously they're here making amends. Cara, what do you think about this like interaction? Do you think it's going to be worthwhile, or is Shani kind of just placating?
I mean, it was a funny conversation how he was like, I have no animosity towards you, and she was like, why would you? Like, you're the one who voted me out. So that was funny. I feel like, I mean, the way maybe he probably could have worded that better in a way that but you know what? No, I think she's wise. Like she knows now, like his tricks. Like she mentioned he wrote a book about it. I feel like she's just humoring him to not get him like to be totally against her or something. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out for them. But maybe if it has to, I think it would work out. Like I would imagine if she needed him, she would like work with him, like or do something with him if needed. But yeah. I'm sure if the opportunity is there to take George out, she will jump on that.
I completely agree. I definitely think that for Shani more so, this was right. I'm just going to entertain it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes just so that I have that in my back pocket in case, because she does know that at this kind of moment George kind of needs Shani more than Shani needs George. So definitely. I think that she handled it really well. But obviously this isn't the kind of only time we see George kind of making deals, because he makes a deal with the boys, or should I say the power bottoms. The way that they said the name, and I cackled. I cackled because I went, of course. And the fact is, it wasn't George that said it.
Was it Luke? I think it was Luke, right?
It was one of Luke or David, and I went, why? It was the fact that one of the straight men said this. I was like, it's just so funny. I need both of your opinions. What do we think of the power bottoms?
Listen, I'm sorry. Because with bringing this up, it made me think, this is how I laughed at it. And just Luke's reaction, just the way that he was laughing, is every dude that I hang out with. Like, seriously, the reaction was so authentic, so funny, because it was one of those things, he didn't think about it. And that's what I like the most about any player on this that plays in this. Like, a lot of stuff you have to do has to be calculated. It has to be. But I enjoy thoroughly when someone just pops off or comes out of their mouth without even a thought, and boom, there it is. And here's the normal human moment. So
yeah, it was natural. I was feeling a little bad for George, though. I felt like they were kind of like not making fun of him, but like I guess humoring him, like like David said. But I feel like that. I don't know if it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure it's going to work out for them. I mean, Jay just in the chat going, power bottoms and let's George pants. I was like, well done. But I also just want to say, Chris Dixon, how dare you? How dare you? That is absolutely not true. That is 100% false. And I'm going to confirm that right now. That is not an alliance for me. Thank you very much. But obviously, we have got a lot going on. I do just want to mention that there was a poll going on our Instagram on our Instagram live chat. So just remember to keep an eye on that as we are going to continue doing what we're doing there. So keep an eye on any polls that have been mentioned there. But we're going to move over, I believe, to the World Tribe now, where they've got their bubbly, their toasting and whatnot. And I did kind of love the dynamic of, well, the juxtaposition of both tribes, because you kind of had the Aussie tribe that were all like, yeah, we know each other. Like we see what's happening. Like, we all know each other. We don't need to do the introductions. Whereas the World Tribe, it was kind of like, we do kind of need to introduce ourselves to one another, because clearly not everyone knows everyone here. So how did we feel about that? Because it did feel very like a newbie season of Survivor where everyone was like, hi, I'm this person. What did you I'm going to go to Bruce first. What did you think of the dynamics?
I think it was more the US players looking at them being like, we need introductions. Like, who are you? Like, again, you have the Mount Rushmore of Survivor, and they know exactly who the three of them are. And maybe they did their research before they went out and they got a little bit acquainted with, with who people are. But yeah, that was more geared towards the US going, okay, like, bravo, sister shows, like you're playing what we started. So who are you?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was funny when Tommy was introducing himself and he was like, I lost by 1 vote. I was like, that was such a funny thing for him to include in his intro to them. I was like, I don't know if you needed to include that, but it was a funny moment.
I know. I mean, there was just so many cute moments. I feel like in this moment, I was very much watching Lisa, because if anyone knows, like, out of everyone in this tribe, like, Lisa is the super fan. Like, Lisa probably knew every single player, probably including Cass and Tommy. She was probably there, like, I've seen everything there. I also, Jaden just mentioned this as well, and I did, them cheering in different languages. Like, I actually enjoyed that. I thought that was like a really sweet moment, because again, you have so many different cultures in that particular tribe, so it was nice to have that moment. But we will go to Lisa and Cirie now, because this moment for me was the sweetest moment of the episode. This moment I just absolutely loved and died for, because again, as any super fan knows, like, Cirie is a legend, like, arguably so. And Lisa knows that, and I think even Lisa mentions, like, she molded her game that won her season of New Zealand after Cirie. So what was this moment like? Because we all knew it was coming. Like, anyone that has been watching our pre-season content, we knew that this moment between Lisa and Cirie were coming. So, Cara, I'm going to go to you first. What was your reaction to this moment? Because for me, it was just, I loved it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was thinking, like, how overwhelmed she probably is in this moment. Like, to be on a season of Survivor like this, seeing your favorite player and then, like, potentially having the chance to work with her and, like, getting to talk to her and have this conversation, be on the same tribe. Like, I feel like that was probably so overwhelming. Like, so many thoughts were probably going through her head in this moment and, like, that whole day. But it was so exciting for her, for Lisa.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh God, absolutely so exciting. Bruce, how did you feel about this?
So I have a little bit of a mental take in looking at this. I saw it and I was like, yes, okay, this is awesome. Like, she's getting to see someone that's the equivalent of me working with Jeremy Collins. Like, oh my God, dude, this is so great. I love to get into that. I model my life is modeled towards yours. Like, we kind of are in the same sphere, blah, blah, blah. And then the other side of it, the Survivor player in me was like, okay, Cirie, if I see you do one thing that you've done in the past to try to win this game, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna clip you. And it's no disrespect to Cirie. It's like the what's the phrase? Like, the apprentice is now the master. Like, it's one of those things. So I'm really gonna be very conscious in seeing how this all pans out between the two of them, and how what Lisa's moves are going to be. Like, if she molded her game towards Cirie, she's seen the fact that Suri is a lovable darling of this amazing show that's never won, but Lisa has. So I would love to see how that dynamic all plans out.
I can't wait to see how this dynamic plays out. Like, especially for Lisa, in the fact that like she gets to play with her kind of like favorite player of all time, and I think Lisa is aware and smart enough to kind of know that I'm meeting my idol, but I also know that I might have to vote her off. And I think Lisa knows that and has mentally prepared for it. Whether or not the emotions take over, we won't know. But I am excited to see this dynamic because I know them two are going to have such a lovely relationship and they're going to have such a great dynamic together. So I'm just so excited to see it. Another dynamic that I was really interested to see, though, was Rob and Poverty. Because you saw Poverty, and I love how she fully went like, it was so Micronesia coded for me. It was very much like she went to the big strong guy and she was like batted her eyelids and she was like, and you kind of see her trying to work her magic. But what's interesting is like Rob has this allure to him as well. Like Rob has this kind of aura to him, which Jaden obviously sees as well. Because he forgot how hypnotizing Rob's voice was. But you see her at this moment mention her connection with David. And I was quite shocked that she had mentioned it so early on. I was like, oh my God. I was like, whoa. How did we feel about her revealing this to Rob? Obviously, she explained that David knew Rob, and that David was excited to play with Rob. So obviously she saw the opportunity and kind of went with it. Do we think that was the right move, though? And Cara, I'm going to go to you first.
No, I could not believe that she was telling him this so soon and even at all. I never thought that would even come out at all on this show. I was like, are they making her say this? Like, why is she doing this? I was so shocked. I was like screaming at my computer. I was like, no, don't say it. Cause like, I don't think it was a good move.
Yeah, I'm kind of there. I am there with you, Bruce. What did you think about this interaction? Because obviously at this moment, the next slide was this as well. I just found it.
So first off, I'm gonna dive into a different level here real quick.
Yeah.
You're looking at this young man, looking at this woman, right? Look at his eyes right there. He's giving all right, there's a different eyesight, a different eye line to give. If you're giving one of these and you're looking at somebody, it's like, I'm trying to get a little bit into your soul, a little bit into like trying to be flirty, this, that, and the other. Listen, he's an attractive man. He's got these eyes or whatever, light-skinned dude. He's got the bright eyes, this, that, and the other. And he's, girls look at him, hey, how are you? And then Poverty's gonna do the same exact thing. She's gonna go over there and she's gonna play her move, like, hi, big strong, save me, be my alliance, blah, blah, blah. And I love the fact that he's like, yeah, no, I know what you're doing. I see I could feel what you're doing. I'm good with it. I think that the role, in some sense of the way, got reversed. I think that Poverty told him that information because of that look that he's given. Like, hey, girl, like, I got you. You're like, we're going to work together. This is going to be great. And maybe she became a little smitten, like, oh, this is okay. He's going to take care of me. I'll take it. Like, that is what I saw in that interaction. And I really thought back to like, okay, we've seen this act before. We've seen it before. Is it going to work? And then it was like, just sit back and watch and see what happens. But I was just like, all right, this is going to be interesting. Especially with the comment afterwards, like, I got you. Like, you're not going to get me, girl. Like, you've gotten other people before. I know what you're doing. So that made me sit up in the chair a little bit more. Like, hey, all right, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Jaden here on this comment. I mean, I was kind of like day one. Like, are we sure that's what we want to do? But I did kind of understand the logic in the sense of like, clearly her and David have a friendship, so she knew that David had probably already had probably gone to Rob. So I feel like she kind of was like, right, let's do this. We've got a Survivor player in the chat, Nash, but I don't know why you're saying Randy, because Randy's not here. And if you're referring to me, I'm not saying I'm offended, but I damn joking, we love Randy. But obviously, we see with this that, you know, Rob uses that. Well, he doesn't explicitly say anything, but he goes straight to Tommy and Cass and kind of gets the non-Americans together. Did we see this coming? And why? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw this coming. Cara, I'll get to you. You go first. What thoughts? Everything.
I mean, it makes sense for them to link up. Like, there is only 4 of them. Everyone, like the USA people, there's 3 of them. The Australians, there's 7 of them. So why wouldn't they link up, you know, and become a 4? That's a good amount of people to have together in an alliance and in a game like this. So, I mean, it made sense that they would try to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bruce, would you kind of be on the same wavelength as Rob here?
Yeah. The simple fact, like I said it before, you got the Mount Rushmore sitting there, and like, you don't want to give them their shine anymore. Like that's really what, you know, me being. That's how I would look at it. Like, all right, let's get together and figure this out so that we can get the ultimate championship for this beautiful game. And you know, to kind of go back on the question that was asked earlier, was it a good move for Poverty? And I will say no, it was not. Her telling, you know, him about Deal or No Deal Island, which was referenced, I think, how many times? Like maybe 9-10 times they said that phrase. But yeah, him going back and telling them, we got 4 of us, 3 of them, 1 of them got to go. Like I was on board with that 100%. But the way he went about it, that was another way. So I guess we'll talk about that soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I said this that the fact that Deal or No Deal Island was mentioned so many times, but also like the reality TV multiverse coming into play is hilarious. I will speak on that more, and I will give some credit to someone else moving forward on it. I thank you, Nash, for knowing that I just wanted to make sure. And Nash, we need you on an episode then, because Nash was with George and I did see the photos and it looked amazing. There was some really cool watch parties going on for this premiere episode. So Nash, I will hit you up and we will maybe see you on one of these recaps. But moving forward, because we've got an immunity challenge to get to, which I can never go wrong with a AU immunity challenge. Obviously for this one, they had to take stairs, get them over to the wall, hop over the wall, and then get really large blocks, build another staircase, get up to a tower, and get Coconut smashing all the tiles. This one just felt so blended in the sense of like there was some clear Aussie influences, but then I saw international influences. I saw some US references in there. I saw some South African references in there with this challenge. Bruce, I'm going to go to you first. What did you think of this challenge, and would you want to compete in this challenge? And is there anything you'd want to do?
I would want to be in any challenge. You put like, Bruce, you got a challenge coming up. Go do this one. Yes, thank you. I want to do it all. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It brought out in myself like the competitive spirit, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't care at the beginning. I didn't care who won. I just wanted to see like a good challenge. I wanted to see good coverage of the challenge, and you know, I just can see where a little bit of the arguing and things like that started happening on the US side because of the blogs. Because once you start getting tired, once things start getting heavy, frustration starts setting in, and it did, and to their detriment. But I loved it. I loved the blend of everything that was there, by way of international, US, Australian Survivor. Like it was great to see it all. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree, Bruce. Quick question: can you see the private chat?
I
Side note for everyone else. Go check the cyber quickly. But Cara, I'm going to go to you next for this challenge. What was your favorite part of this challenge?
Oh my gosh. David carried, like, holding that whole box on his back by himself. That was insane. Like, I can't even imagine how heavy that box was, and for him to just be holding the whole thing on his back like that. Oh my God. Like that just shows like how he's insane, you know? Like that was incredible. And even just seeing the slingshots, I was like, oh my God, like this was Titans versus Rebels coded.
Yeah. Sure. Oh my God. Yes. I just love this challenge because you saw the brute force and you saw everything that was going on, and it was tight. Like this particular challenge was so close together. And I love that we saw moments from both tribes. I mean, the fact that it was David, wasn't it? That literally had it.
Oh wait, I meant Brains versus Brawn, not Titans versus Rebel.
Yeah, right. I knew exactly who you meant. My brain. Yeah. We all have to remember them two are quite tired at the moment, so it's fine. We allow it. But the way that literally David just had it up, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I thought I was strong as a dancer. I was like, yeah. I was like, they win. I'm good. But it was so close in the end with the tribes. And obviously, before we get to the results of the challenge, actually, I do need to talk about one thing. Because it is something that me and Matthew, who will be joining us on a later podcast, will do. The idol. The immunity idol. That looks so cool. Mm-hmm. I love that AU always kind of has like a little skull motif. I just need quick opinions. Like, what did you think about this quickly?
I thought it was cool too.
Yeah.
The phrase that came out of my mouth was like, "Oh shit!" Like that is wow. Yeah. I love it. Like I'm just, you know, you have the ram's horns that are actually holding up the ram's head. Like it's there. The teeth are there. You know, it's that was well done.
It was so well done, and like again, we'll go back to this challenge. Because it remembered. I mean, Nash is saying in the chat like best idol. From the ones I've seen of Australian Survivor, again Nash, the detail is amazing. Like, this is me speaking on the behalf of the UK. If only we could get idols like that on our UK season, like just.
Like, you got to think about something. The only what's going through my mind when I see that, okay, is that if you're in Australia, right, and you're out in the bush, an animal has died, and you're going to see that, like somewhere, it was ravaged by you know the whatever, like the vultures, and they came down, and they pecked it, and the whole 9 yards, there's nothing left, and it's bleached by the sun. Like this is a perfect representation of that. If you go to the UK, are you going to get that in the UK? No. You're not. Like in the US, you can get that, but it's like this shows, it gives you that Aussie feel. Like this is authentic to that area, that region.
No, Bruce, I will let you know now. I will find a photo of what the UK's idol looked like, and you will see why me and even Matthew continuously mention that idol. You will understand fully. Okay. It's a look. But obviously, just back to this challenge. Obviously, it was a nail biter in this challenge. They both got to the pulley cannon for the thingy. I don't
slingshot.
know. The slingshot. Thank you. They got to that very nicely. It was close. But in the end, it was the Aussie tribe that won. Were we surprised that the Aussies won this challenge?
No.
No. What did you... Well, before we get to them winning, there was one little thing that happened during the challenge, which was right at the end, you saw Rob have the exchange with Luke and David and go, if you can find these keys, let me know. And then, like, that's the bridge. Like, we saw it then, reciprocated on Rob's end. So, Cara, I want to go to you. What did you think of that? And did you think that was the start of something interesting?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, from the reward challenge, like we already saw Rob and David. So seeing, yeah, Rob and David, and then carrying it over here, I feel like it made sense. I feel like them talking so openly, though. I feel like if I was to see that, I'd be like what's happening here? Like that would
Yeah.
raise some red flags. But I mean, not surprised.
No, not surprised at all. I saw it happening. Bruce, what did you think of that little interaction that occurred?
If there was anything to be learned, like the nonverbal communication is key. Because, Kara, like you said, like you're in the wide open and then somebody heard it. Like somebody. Yeah. It's not like US Survivor when, you get a clue and there's something hidden, an idol hidden, during the course of the challenge and you have to try to get it and be sneaky about it. Like that's completely different from looking at someone and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" Like you can't have that conversation like that because there were definitely people that heard. But the nonverbal communication, like you guys are good. You've been here before. Like you should know how to do that. And it wasn't done, so it was a little sloppy. I think it was definitely a little sloppy.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Chris also agrees in the chat. He thinks it was a mistake to have that interaction. Would have been cool if obviously what happened to happen. But yeah, I think it could have been done. I agree with you, Bruce, a little better. The chat has been popping up, and I'm so sorry I promise we've not been ignoring it. Nash is saying this is why Australian Survivor is the best in the world. I completely agree. You've got Blood Money in the chat as well, just saying hey, welcome. We hope you have enjoyed this episode because we certainly did. And Jaden also said, by the way, wouldn't it be more fitting if this season location was set in Australian outback because of Australia versus the world? That could have been cool. We will keep that for Australia versus the world too. Because it is. And just to answer some questions, yes, it is a 16-day format, and I actually don't know what the prize money is. I can't remember what the prize money is.
It's $250.
My brain's completely forgotten.
Did they say that? I don't remember that either.
They said it.
Yeah, I can't remember. But obviously, we did have a losing tribe, which was the World Tribe. So unfortunately, they had to go. And we first see this interaction. But hold on. Before we get into this interaction, do we need a quick 5 minutes? Do we need a quick breather? We will take just a short break, and then we will be back to talk about all the pre-tribal, talk about this conversation, and then talk about everything that went on. So, international friends, let's hear from Todd.
What is up, Survivor Now podcast? I'm Todd Herzog, the winner of Survivor China, and I am here to tell you a little bit about my pop shop. I make custom Funko Pops of everybody and anyone you could possibly imagine. You want your favorite Survivor contestant in custom pop form? How about Colby from Australian Outback? Or Owen doing the Last Gasp Challenge? That's right, I will make it for you. Check out my Instagram, Todd's Pop Shop, or email me, toddspopshop@gmail.com to order yours today and save $10 off your first order plus free shipping. Also, there is more than just the Survivor Now podcast. It's turned into Reality Now podcast, so your one-stop shop for all things reality TV. You can check it out weekly. There are episodes of pretty much anything and everything you could want, where it's breaking down the episodes, talking to contestants, giving you all of your reality fix. Check out realitynowpodcast.com for all of the details and check out both podcasts.
And we are back, and yes, Todd is doing amazing things. He is also doing AU little pop. The amount of times I've seen the girls having their little the pops show up on their thing, it has been so cute. I need to get myself a Todd pop because I see everyone else having them and I'm like, I want one. And the fact that I know he at least sends them to Australia, I think he could get them to the US or over to us, over to me in the UK, shall I say. Before we continue, though, we have a special guest.
Hello.
What's up,
Please
Nash?
welcome Nash from Brains vs. Brawn 2. Nash, how are you doing? Can you
How
hear
are
me
you
now?
all? I can hear you now. How are you all?
Fabulous. We're doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well,
Like, I'm speechless.
how obviously you have seen the episode live, you have just been at a viewing party, so I need to ask you first, what was your reaction to the episode overall?
I'm speechless. One of the first best episodes. Oh, look, let me just the promo. What was that?
Like insane. Insane.
Like the amount of money spent on that promo. Wow. I feel ripped off.
That is good. That is classic.
That is no, like honestly, it was such a good episode. I mean, everyone's finally seeing you in the chat, so just saying the Rash is here. Yes, he is. But we love this. We don't need anointment. We don't need any sort of antibiotics for it. Nash, I need to ask you. Obviously, we've kind of spoken about the challenges and everything there. So before we get into the pre-tribal and everything, give me kind of a rundown on your thoughts of so far. What were you feeling about the Aussie tribe? What were you feeling about the World tribe?
There was an issue with the World tribe. I think Rob issue, saying, my lips are sealed. Parvati playing the sweet game. Look into my eyes, let's play together. She, like I'm telling you, she looks into anyone. She had me wanting to play for her. Do you know what I mean? Those eyes are like, wow. Rob, like crazy player, super strong. I didn't feel much about the rest of the crew. There wasn't much action on them. Aussie tribe, look, you could tell there's a bit of heat in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, George, Shawnee, Kirby in there as well, where she's gonna, align. It was very unpredictable, but a very strong tribe. So, look, I'm speechless. I'm very, very speechless. Like
I can tell. I do need, before we go on to the pre-tribal, I do have one more question for you. And obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, you are friends with a certain person from Bankstown, if I'm not mistaken.
King George of Bankstown. He literally.
King George of Bankstown. What did you think about George in this episode? Because obviously, we saw his little chat with Shawnee. We saw him talking to the boys. How are you feeling about your buddy George here in this premiere episode?
Look, George has to play the nice guy with Shawnee because you need to make friends. Obviously, Shawnee didn't think like that, obviously, with her comments. George going in there knowing everyone knows how he plays. Yeah. Being the character, the strong character, likes to take lead and very opinionated, as well as Shawnee being Shawnee. Kirby playing the low key, let me get to know everyone, how she played on Titans vs Rebels. Very, very smart. That's really all I saw from them. I think George is very smart on how he plays, does what he needs to do in the right times. He's a very clever man. I mean, he knows how to play Survivor very, very well. He knows how to talk the talk and get himself out of trouble. I obviously know a lot more than a lot of you guys, so I can only say what I can say. Yeah. But looking at that first episode, I think George has done so far so good. Hasn't really bitten anyone's tongue. Yeah. And he's played very, very well so far. Just trying to gain these relationships and seeing where he can actually align with, because it is friends against friends in the end. Right? Yeah. It's Australia, which is all friends. You've got to think about that, versus the world, who are all friends. You're competing for that last thing. So, look, the challenges. Love the challenges. That water slide just brought back memories to my season. Yeah. Where we had great game, very simple. I love the options and the choices. It's not just one tribe wins it all. I love that they've changed that up. Second game, oh wow. The power in that game from Rob wow. Like, even David, like, putting the blocks on their back.
Mm-hmm.
This just shows you
Insane.
they're superhumans.
Honestly, yeah.
Mhm.
And I said this earlier in the episode, and I want to just say it to you as well. Survivor AU is not Survivor AU if they don't have a challenge with a walk slide. So, and you know that for a fact.
That
You know.
water slide is so high. Don't think it's not high. It is really high and narrow. And, like, imagine me sliding down that, being, you know, a big bloke like me. It is pretty scary.
But fun at the same time, I'm assuming. It's gotta
Oh,
be a
mate,
good time.
you want to do it again once you slide down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Look, Australian Survivor has the best games by far. Best challenges. Hands down. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to say.
No. Like, Nash, I agree with you. Obviously, you've got two Americans over there, but it's fine. I agree with you. Don't worry.
I love
You've
you,
got me in your-
Americans. Don't worry.
But we let's move on, because obviously we've still got a whole pre-tribal to talk about. Zach's just in the chat as well, saying good morning to everyone. Good morning to you as well. But let's get back to this, because this tribal, this I can't speak. This pre-tribal was insane. Like, we knew that the strategy was going to be obviously like legendary this season, but just how like strong everyone came out of the gate. And this conversation in particular, it originally was the 3 non-Americans. They'd gone to the water and discussed what they wanted to do, and then obviously Parvati, I'm going to try and say her name correctly, came in and wanted to join in the conversation. To me, this is where the wheels started to fall off, unfortunately, with Rob. Because I want to get everyone's thoughts on this. To me, Rob kind of was like already deciding what was going on. And then when Poverty came in, he kind of, not strong-armed, I don't want to say it was a strong arm, but he did kind of go there and basically go to Poverty and go, well, what do you want to do then? You've got to make the decision. And I kind of feel like, are you really going to say to an American, choose between the 2 other Americans? Like, I think I'm going to go to Cara first. What did you think of this conversation? Because it was kind of, to me, the catalyst of all the craziness that went down.
Yeah, like, it was definitely awkward. And I feel like in this moment, Parvati saw saw Rob, saw like how he is and how he's going to play. And it was different from like their previous conversations. And I feel like it was really setting in like, oh, like, this guy's actually going to be a problem. Like, maybe he's not someone that I could work with. But yeah, definitely not a good look for Rob in this moment. And I feel like for all of them, even just being there and witnessing it, like, it was like, it was awkward. Like, how can you put her on the spot like that when there's only 2 other people on the tribe? Like, and they're Americans with her. Like, come on. And one of them is Suri that she's played with. Like, she's played with both of them, but like Suri is the closer. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nash, I'll go to you next. What do you think?
You know what? Kara's pretty much said it perfectly. I couldn't say it any better. It is pretty much exactly what I was thinking as well. Like, you've played with her, you know, you've put this girl on the spot. It's obvious where everything's going. I mean, it's straight to the point. I mean, there's nothing I can add to that. Kara, you've worded it perfectly fine. Perfect.
Yeah. Bruce, anything to add before we move along?
Yeah, I'm going to take it from the alpha personality. Dude sitting there with 4 people. There's 3 Americans sitting there on the other side, and he's like, I got this. Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, huh? We got our 4 boys right here, and it's the 3 of you. It's, you know, our numbers are up. What do you want to do? So he slipped up definitely with that conversation. He should have, you know, not put her on the spot. Asked her, you know, a simple question of some sorts, you know, maybe even asking, like, what are your thoughts? And that's much better than saying, who do you want? Like, no, you can't do it. But even his posture, looking at the picture, his posture is like, yo, there's 4 of us. There's 3 of you. Like, we'll take one of you guys out. We just got to come to a decision as to doing it. And, you know, he just alphaed out on that. And, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. He got a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too quickly. And we see that in the next scene where he goes straight to Sari and Tony and then kind of basically flips it and kind of goes, your name's out there. If you want to survive, vote for Parvati. And I was just there like, what is going on? Because I've watched Rob's season, and I can tell you now, like, I said this in our pre-season content when we were discussing the tribes. Rob was very much similar game to Kim Spradlin. So dominant, so good at working his magic, so good at weaving everything to what he wanted to do. And I saw him trying to do it this season, and I was like, here now, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And this conversation, I want to get one person's opinion. I'm going to go to Nash. What did you think of this conversation when, obviously, Rob came to both of them and went, vote for Parvati?
Big screw up. I think, it's a big screw up. Big screw up. You shouldn't have done that. I think that's just wrecked your whole trust. And saying, hey, it's either this or this. I mean, I understand where he's coming from because I done that in my season with the candy vote with Morgan and Kate. So I know what it's like, and it burns a bridge.
Yeah.
And it's a big mistake,
And I this is where for me, I just worried about everything with him, and I just could not see the writing on the wall because you never knew. But when Sari then went to her bestie Lisa, and it was Lisa's confessional where this is where I was like, this is why you don't underestimate Lisa. Like, Lisa knew exactly what was going on and was like, no, I'm not having someone just deciding for me what's going on. So to me, this was the moment where I was like, yeah, there is a chance it's not just going to be a steamroll. Poverty's going, like, there's something in the water here that can turn the tide. Bruce, do you think this was kind of the turning point ultimately that led to the events of Tribal, where obviously we saw who went home? Do you think this was kind of that moment?
Yes. Yeah, and it's the only reason why I say yes to that is because it's a classic Survivor dominant type thing. Like, you feel like you have the power. You feel like you're on top of the world, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, good night. And then looking at not being able to see and read the room for everything else that happened to this point. Like, that's one of the things that kill me. Like, you have to be aware as to what's going on and see kind of who's talking to who and what that conversation is going. But then talking to other people and say, hey, well, it's being nice about it. Like, my God, you're talking to Sari. Like, what was that like? Like, oh my God, it's great. And it's kind of feeling out kind of how that conversation might go from there. I do have I hate to interrupt. I do have a special kind of guest right there real quick. This dude's really cool. We had a great time this weekend. Come on. I want to say hi.
Who is it? It's Sam from 47.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
We've really got an international cast coming in for this podcast.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I also just want to say hi to Sam specifically because Sam was on my draft, so he did me proud. Just saying.
I was saying.
Sam, you did me proud. You did me proud on the 47 draft.
Thank you. Yes, Team Ollie. Yeah, it was great. It was great representing you.
Look what else I got.
Well, it's a whole Survivor International thing happening. This is what happens on a premiere.
Cameo's going everywhere. I love it.
It's going everywhere.
Amazing.
That's not the last time we see any of them for a podcast, just saying. But it's all gone mental now. We've all gone crazy. We're gonna get so many other people. I'm gonna text
Bring
everyone.
more.
Sorry.
We're going to move on because obviously at this point, I think it's someone then goes and tells Poverty. It's like my mind lost track of everything that was going on. And obviously then Poverty goes to Cass and Lisa and kind of, this is where I just want to give Cass a little shout out because she kind of did that, like the sounded like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, maybe But and Cass got no heat. Like Cass and Lisa, like they did not get any heat whatsoever in this moment. And it kind of did turn into this weird thing where you see all these juggernauts like trying to gain power. And it was the people that everyone underestimated that have all the power. Because we see Cass, Tommy, and Lisa here all talking. They are the ones that have the power in this tribal. I'm going to go to Cara first. What do you think of all of this leading up and then ultimately leading up to those three?
Yeah, I mean, to start off, I feel like maybe Rob would have had a little more success in this if he threw out Tony's name instead of Surrey's name first and then Parvati's name. I feel like with Tony, maybe there could have been something, and I actually thought it was like amazing that his name didn't come up. I was like, this is great for Tony. Like, we love to see him not get any heat at all right off the start. But I feel like maybe going that route could have potentially been better. I don't know if I don't think the outcome would have been any different, but I think maybe that would have been a better starting point. But yeah, the three of them really have all the power in their hands and the decision, like they can decide what happens. I think maybe for Lisa, if she did want to work closer with Suri, maybe taking out Parvati at this point would be a good move, because then that moves her up on the list, and then that opens up that spot that Parvati is maybe taking with Suri. So, yeah.
That's a really good point. Nash, were you surprised that it was these three that ultimately had the decision?
Yeah, pretty much, because you've got the top players wanting to run the show. And then you've got these three who pretty much hold the key votes to where the votes go. You've got Suri, who has Lisa wrapped around her because obviously Lisa loves Suri. You've got Rob, who wants to be the macho man and wants to lead the tribe. You got Sweet Parvati, who knows how to manipulate and turn and sweet talk her way. Plus, people want to keep Parv because obviously she knows the game very, very, very well. And then obviously trying to get these three guys across. I'm actually surprised that it actually, one of these three names didn't pop up, to be honest, as well. It's a big shock to me. I actually thought it could have been Cass or Lisa's name to pop up, but no, Suri's name's popped up. So it's a bit of a shock to me too.
Yeah, and actually, you bring up a really great point. I do just want to bring Jaden's comment in just for Kara's sake. Honestly, like how did like a two-time winner's name not get mentioned? But yeah, I think the fact that kind of we as viewers did not hear Cass or Lisa's names at all, and even Tommy to a degree, like it just shows how well integrated they did get clearly into this tribe. I know it had only been 2 days, and obviously like that is like 48-ish hours. The fact that they were able to kind of just get themselves not to be a target, like, commendable to both of them, because you could have easily seen all of the Americans and even someone like Rob, who is kind of that bigger physical threat, kind of go like, we see that these people are going to try and stay under the radar. We don't want that. So, yeah, props to them. Before we get into the tribal, Bruce, have you got any last thoughts you want to share as well on this?
Yeah. In regards to the three of them, I think the reason why they were able to fly under the radar is because you have one big dog looking at another big dog, and the big dogs they're fighting, and all the others are sitting there. All the betas are just sitting there watching, like, oh, all right, who's going to be in charge? Who's going to take that spot? And they're just watching, because one of these three are going to turn on and be like, you know what? They let them eat each other from the inside out, and then all of a sudden, hey, now I can take over that slot. So they're sitting back there watching, and I'm pretty sure, like, I think everybody's name must have came up. So Tony's name must have come up, but not in a way that was, we need to get rid of him right now. I think Tony's playing the slow game at this point on a very short.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can kind of agree with you. I think surely all of their names would have got brought up, but obviously we see that the two main names going into tribal are Poverty and Rob. And this first tribal, it was, like, in the words of a Survivor winner from the US, spicy. Because right off the gate, Rob was on the attack. Rob was like, I'm going to make sure that the target is this way. So I'm going to go to Nash first. What were your thoughts on this tribal overall? Because it was madness.
Look, it was madness, I tell you that. Like, he went in bang, 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 bang. I probably would have played the low key and trying to keep my trust with Parv. because if he didn't get everything targeted against him, he would have gained her trust. And you need Parvati's trust. You've just burnt a dirty bridge that you can't cross back, because you've just promised someone who's told you something really deep and secret and meaningful, and you're trying to get David to work with you as well. Why would you burn that bridge straight away? Because Parv will obviously want, if they merge and if they make it to merge, Parv will go to David and say, hey, you can't trust him. This is what he's done. And then he's gone. Why would you burn that bridge so early? You use that later on when you want to break alliances.
Yeah, because even if it was Poverty that went this episode, you know for a fact one of the other 5 would have probably somehow mentioned it to David and been like, hey, by the way, we're all aware of your connection with Poverty. That was the reason she got voted out, because Rob blurted it.
Thanks for taking the take.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Cara, what did you think about that moment? Because I have some thoughts and feelings on it, but I want to get everyone else's thoughts first. So what did you think about that moment and just Tribal in general?
Oh my gosh. I mean, when he brought up like what she told him and like seeing all their reactions to them, like learning that she's played with David, a game with David before. And I thought it was so funny how they were like, thanks for spoiling Deal or No Deal Island for us. I thought that was so funny.
That was funny as heck.
That like, again, I was like screaming. I was like, why did she tell him this? Like, why would she give him something to use like against her, basically, especially when they're going at each other? Like, of course he's gonna bring it up now that like it's him or her on the line. But it was a good tribal. Very entertaining. Absolutely. And then like Sari going over to the girls and then like Rob being like, it's the same. Like nothing's changed. Yeah.
That moment, I love that moment from Sari. Bruce, what were your thoughts on this tribal and obviously this moment between Potsy and Rob?
I think Rob knew he was screwed. Just for the fact that he was, with his personality and kind of the bossiness that was going on, there was obviously a whole lot more, because like we talked about, the 48 hours of taping and they only showed so much. I think he was feeling that there was a lot of tension on him, because when Sari getting up and say nothing's changed, right, and the votes go on Rob, it's like this was all known prior to, so nothing was going to change. And then there's always a constant back and forth in regards to Survivor. Like, is your mind made up before you get to tribal, or is your mind made up during tribal, or is your mind switched at tribal? I really do think that decisions are made prior to tribal. They're not changed up unless someone blatantly goes out and says, I want to quit, or please vote for me, I want to go. IEQ, that didn't work. I.e., Hannah, bye-bye. So just speaking of my season. But I really do honestly think that he was cooked before he got there. He knew it, and he had to be like, I got to throw the S at the fan and see what sticks and go from there.
Yeah, I definitely think it was kind of a last-ditch effort from Rob. Just quickly going to the chat, we've got H. Simon in the chat saying, hi, hope we're well. And Jaden also says, low-key, the short rivalry between Parvati and Rob, lovely, and Lisa's iconic. For me, this moment, it was very much, as soon as he mentioned the deal or no deal thing, it was curtains, unfortunately, just because I think if I was in that situation, I would have turned it back on Rob and been like, let's just put this into perspective. I've given Rob this information, and the fact that he's taken this information and already publicly used it against me, to me, that shows that he can't really be trusted with information. Who's to say that, moving forward, you give him some information and he goes and tells someone? He's already shown that he's going to use your information to be selfish for himself, which is understandable for the game. But as an alliance member, why would you want that? That was my takeaway. And that's how I feel like if I was Poverty, I mean, regardless, I think she handled it amazingly. But like, I was just sat there like, oh my God. And I'm going to take a quote here from the incredible Dylan from Survivor New Zealand, who was on the same season as Lisa. So I don't want to get the credit. This is fully his credit. It was a tweet he had posted, which was, "I can't believe Deal or No Deal Island is going to determine the first vote of this season." Could you imagine? Like, I said the reality TV multiverse at its finest. Did you think that the first vote off of Australia versus the world was going to come down to Deal or No Deal Island? Did we think that this was the multiverse that we were coming into for the
It
first
should have,
vote off?
ever never been brought up, to be honest. I mean, we're trying to concentrate on Survivor here. Doesn't matter what other shows you've been on. I mean, most of these Americans are friends anyway, or they've met outside. So it's not, and even the Australians have been friends too. So being on a show with another person shouldn't really affect this game, because Survivor is different to Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
And it became, that was the reason why. I mean, that whole comment, we don't know exactly what and how the conversation and what information she had told him. Obviously, we miss a lot, but what she told him, I think she should have kept that to herself.
Yeah.
Personally.
And I do think also that with that scenario, if he played it properly, it could have been he could have used it along the lines of, okay, so like we have a mole in our midst, use that. Be like,
blackmail.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, put so much more on it other than they were on a show together.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what was the outcome of the show? Did they both win? Did someone win? Did he help her win? Did she help him win? Like, what's just try and elaborate a little bit more about it, and then now you start putting that thing in people's head, like, wait a minute, if she has an in on the other tribe, and if he's working with someone else, and they could just destroy us once the merge happens. So like, you have to be able to be a little bit more articulate when it comes to what that threat's going to be.
Rob should have used that maybe next couple of episodes when he's under the bus and say, hey, this is the time where I use this information to flip votes on her.
Yeah.
That's where I would have used it as like an idol flip, like it's information that you can flip votes, just a couple of minutes before you head into tribal. That's where I would have used that information,
Makes sense to
me.
I
completely agree.
And keep her close to you. Give her all the information you need. Lie to her. Keep her close to you, because everyone wants to play with Parv.
Yeah.
Or be shielded by Parv.
Or be shielded by Parv.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And obviously, if they kept the relationship very tight, she'd keep him because he's the strongest person out of this whole Australia versus the world. You want this big tough guy there. I don't care what anyone says. You want him there. He's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything before we get to the final part of this? Any other parts that stuck out?
I love the fact that Tony just kind of sat there and listened on, and from what we got from the edit, we just go ahead, kids.
Yeah,
he's playing a good, smart game. He's playing a different game to what he normally plays.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're not playing with random new people.
Yeah, he's being smart about this, but obviously we'll move on because we've had the tribal. Everything's gone on. The accusations have been thrown around. Deal or No Deal Island's been put into play. We don't know. The Celebrity Apprentice Australia could come into play with Janine and David. We don't know what can happen. But the votes get counted, and unfortunately, the Zulu King does go home. We see Rob, and I'm going to quote just Rob Benatelli. We see him be the first one voted out. What were your thoughts of Rob being the first one voted out? Like, when I looked at this season, I did not expect it. I was shocked that it was Rob. So I'm going to go to Bruce first. Bruce, what are your thoughts on this? And have you got any lovely words to say to the Zulu King, Rob?
You know what? I was not shocked. I wasn't shocked. It was almost like I kind of expected it. Once the conversation started happening, once the posture was changed, once I saw that, I just kind of had a very good feeling that, all right, dude's cooked. He's got to go. And then when he brought up the deal in Mobile Island, that was a last-ditch effort to hope to sway someone to make a decision, and the decision just was not made. So, you made it that far. You made it on one of the greatest shows again in the world. But your time is up. So sorry, so sad. On to the next.
Yeah. And mate, Cara, any final words?
I mean, I also wasn't too surprised, like, after, like, seeing how he was, like, on the episode and interacting with everyone. Not really surprised. I mean, I think he left a mark that I think they'll mention him and he'll come up, like, throughout the rest of maybe the pre-merge, maybe even into the merge. I think he'll come up. He tried something, but you can't pull one over the Americans. They're gonna come out on top.
Very well, Cara, I do need to ask though, what are your feelings? Because anyone that watched the pre-season stuff, Doug was right. Doug correctly predicted that Rob would be the first boot. Doug, if you're watching, well done. Nash, thoughts, love, flowers towards the lovely.
I wish I saw more of Rob. I want to see more of Rob, to be honest. Knowing it's Australian Survivor on our turf, and the game style we play and the games we have, I would have loved to see him more through the next challenges, because obviously our challenges are the best, and being strong makes a big difference. Is one person you'd want to keep, but then again, you got to remember this is quick Survivor. It's not where you got time to play for 47 days in Australia. It's 16 days. So if you don't make your moves quick, your chance might go. And I think being existing players, they got to have to think quick and make rational decisions very, very quick, because you can't say, you know what, I'll worry about it in the next couple of days, because the next couple of days you've got 8 people left, then 7, and then 6. It goes down quick, And going against Australia as well, one of the best Australian team there is, you don't know whether you're going to win challenges or not, and you don't know what the next challenges are. So I think making these big moves we're going to see massive exits and big shock exits throughout this whole series is very obvious. But I honestly wanted to see Rob go at least another couple more episodes. I love seeing him in challenges. I think it's exciting to see what he can bring. He tried, but obviously Parvati's sweetness just works at a charm, and if he just kept it low key and cool, I think she would have taken him quite far. Or I would have played it smart just before merge or tribe swap, take him out, and then connect with David.
I mean, sometimes this is what happens. He knew he was going against the Black Widow, and unfortunately, it was his demise. And I think Jaden says it best here. We now know what we are in for. We are in for an amazing season. Like,
you think this was good? You think first episode was good?
Keep going. Like, it's
this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Like, I think Nash knows this, like, being obviously an Aussie, it only gets up from here when it comes to any Australian season. Like, it gets going. Just some chats as well, like Randy saying in the chat that he fell in love with Rob this episode. What a player. So many people were sending their love in the chat. Also, we just want to say, Cara, congratulations. For, I don't know, however long, she did not lose a draft pick first.
Yay!
How does it feel?
It feels great.
Simon in the chat as well saying, could this be the revival of the Black Widow Brigade tonight? We don't know. We could see that happening. We saw that kind of coming into play. There's like just people in the chat, thank you so much. You have been amazing. But I think it is kind of time to wrap things up here. Firstly, I just want to say, Nash, thank you for the impromptu, joining us.
No, my pleasure. It's always great to come on at random and jump in. Obviously, I just had gotten home with everyone, and I'm like, you know what? What a good time to jump on and listen to the podcast and give a bit of input. Thank you. It's always a pleasure. I'm always free to have a chat with you guys. It's a pleasure.
We will remember that. Yeah,
thank you.
Happy to come back on for another one. We will try and see what we can do there.
You got my number. Hit me
I do. Bruce and Cara, thank you for joining as well. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. We do just have some things to going off. Obviously, we're going to have another recap happening. We are going to be recapping episode 2 Monday night, which will be Tuesday morning for the Aussies. Just scheduling wise, we had to do it a little bit later, so we won't get a right after review, but you will see us recapping episode 2 coming up. And we will also have an exclusive interview with the first eliminated contestant. Keep an eye on that, Rob. I do have the honor of getting to chat to Rob, so I will be asking him all the questions and just giving him his flowers. And just a reminder about our draft. We had our draft. Obviously, unfortunately, Randy did lose his first player. We will see who will be the next person to lose their player and just get the draft diminished. But that is all that we've got for this episode. Once again, thank you for joining us for the premiere of Survivor AU versus the World. This season is going to be insane. I cannot wait to see how this is going to shake up. I literally can't wait for episode 2. I'm so excited to watch that and be like, I know you lot all are. I know everyone in the chat is. But we are going to sign off now. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you for episode 2 read.